Well, welcome to the show. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about how to use credit cards effectively in a way that will raise your credit score and give you access to even more credit. It's a very, very important subject. But I want you to do me a favor real quick. I want you to subscribe to this channel. I want you to like this video. Leave me a comment because I would love to engage you conversationally to see how we could bring better services to you, better ideas for programming, things that you need answers to. I'm here to help you succeed financially, whether that's personal, whether that's business, whether that's credit, business, or investing. We're here to help you get it done. Well, today I want to talk to you about credit cards. There are some things that are very, very essential and important that you and I must understand about credit cards. First of all, I want to start this off today by discussing with you the 4 things about a credit card that you need to know. 4 things about a credit card that you need to know. Number 1, you need to know that every credit card has a billing cycle. Your billing cycle will begin on a particular date and it will end on the second date that you need to know, or the second thing you need to know about your credit card. It ends on your statement date. Now, the statement date for a credit card is the most important date. It is the date that you must learn. Now, I want to stress to you today that the way I discovered how critical important the statement date was that I began to look at my credit card statements that came to me from the credit card companies. And as I began to look into them, I noticed something very interesting. What I noticed was that the credit card companies were very eager to allow me to see the activity of the month. They were very eager to allow me to see the due date, but they didn't want me to see the statement date. If I wanted the statement date, sometimes I had to make a special appeal. I had to go searching and figure out how this particular credit card company allows you to see the statement date. And so that information made me realize that if I was going to be effective at using a credit card, I needed to understand the statement date. Now, why is this date so important? It's because 3 things happen on your credit card statement date. The first thing that happens is your credit card company is going to print your bill for the billing period, and they're going to send it to you the best way you like to get it, whether that's electronically, whether that's by mail, however you get it, that's what they're going to do. The second thing they're going to do, they're going to charge you interest for your balance at that time. That's a critical and important thing to know. I'm going to be charged interest on the statement date. The third thing about the statement date that's critical for you to know is that it is on the statement date or close to it that your credit card company reports you to the credit bureaus. So they're going to report your payments in that billing cycle, and they're going to report your balance. And this is critical and important because it all happens on the statement date. Now, the third thing that you need to know about your credit card, and this is true with most credit cards, but not all of them, and that is the grace period. The grace period begins the day after the statement date and ends the day before the due date. And why the grace period is so important is because if you were to pay the balance in full during the grace period, then there's no chance for you to be charged any interest. If you make any payment in the grace period, it is going to help you because it helps your credit utilization, which is going to be a very important thing. It's 30% of your credit score. It's going to be very, very essential and important that you do it. So payments made in the grace period have an impact on interest rates and an impact on credit. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. So that's the third thing. And the fourth thing that you need to know about the credit card is the due date. Every credit card has a due date. This is the date that the credit system wants you and me to focus on, because the due date is the date that if you don't pay the balance in full, but you make a payment on the due date, they have the ability to charge you interest on the purchases you made in that billing cycle and on purchases left over from prior billing cycle. So there's something that I want you to see relative to what I just said, those four things. We've got billing cycle, statement date, grace period, due date. Those are the things we have, but there's something that I want to make sure you are aware of. So let's look at this real quick. We're looking at something that is going to be explained to you, the debt to credit ratio, which is also known as credit utilization or your debt to credit rate. This is important. It measures how much credit you're using compared to your total available credit. It's calculated by dividing your total credit card balance by your total credit card limit and as a key factor in determining your credit score. Now I want you to understand this. Okay, so let's get a little more detailed explanation. So here's what it is: credit utilization. This refers to how much of your available credit you're using. So if they say you've got $1,000 available and you've got a $300 balance on statement date, then utilization would be 30%. According to the credit industry, 30% is the highest your utilization can be and it not negatively affect your credit score. So it's a crucial factor for lenders and credit card companies when assessing your credit worthiness. Debt to credit ratio. This ratio, often expressed as a percentage, shows how much of your available credit is being used. A higher ratio means you're using more of your credit, and a lower ratio means you're using less. Why does it matter? Because credit score impact. A high debt to credit ratio can negatively impact your credit score. Lenders prefer to see that you're not overextending your credit. Then loan approval. Lenders use this ratio to assess your risk of defaulting on loans. A lower debt to credit ratio can increase your chances of loan approval and secure better interest rates. Now listen, when I talk to people about what should be your credit utilization on statement date, because remember that's when it's being reported, not due date, your credit utilization, they say 30%, I say under 10, somewhere between 1 and 9%. If you want to see your credit score continuously climbing. Now, I tell people something that is very essential and important when using credit cards. What is going to be very important is, when should I pay my balance? When should I pay my balance? Now, I want you to understand something. I've been in this industry 36 years, studied, helped hundreds of people have tremendous success in this area. And so you got to understand that there's a lot of misinformation around when you should pay your credit cards. And the reason is, so much of the information is put out by the credit industry, who wants to get as much out of your pockets as possible. So I'm going to share with you that I thoroughly endorse the 15-3 method for paying credit cards. And I'm going to show you some things to explain to you why I endorse this method. So does paying your credit card twice a month help? Well, yes, paying your credit card twice a month can be beneficial, particularly if you typically carry a balance, which 86% of people in the United States do. Making multiple payments can reduce your overall interest paid, improve your credit utilization, and potentially help you build a better credit score. Listen, here's why it can be helpful. 1, reduce interest. By paying more frequently, you can reduce your average daily balance. This matters, leading to less interest charged. So people sometimes say, well, it doesn't matter if you make 2 payments, you can make them. Well, listen, when you are having a daily balance that is being used for multiple reasons in the industry, being lessened because you're making a payment 15 days before the due date, 50%, and then 3 days before the due date, the other 50%. That's what the 15-3 method is. You pay 50% of your payment that you were going to make 15 days before, and 50% of the payment you were going to make 3 days before. This leads to reduced average daily balances, which lowers your interest charge. Now, improved credit utilization. Paying multiple times during the billing cycle can lower your credit utilization ratio, which is a key factor in credit scoring. Next, better credit score. Lower credit utilization combined with a history of on-time payments can contribute to a higher credit score. I have had people use this consistently, and I tell everyone, if you do this for 6 months, you're going to see your credit scores continue to climb. Increased awareness. Making more frequent payments can help you track your spending and avoid overspending. The 15-3 rule is one popular strategy that involves making 2 payments per month, one 15 days before the due date and another 3 days before the due date. This method aims to further reduce credit utilization by ensuring a lower balance on the statement date, which is the most important date for the credit card. So listen, I want you to understand that I have had multiple credit cards with wonderful limits, credit cards in my business as well. And listen, I want you to know, practicing the 15-3 method, understanding what happens on the statement date, not being fooled by the credit industry into living based off of the due date is going to always propel you forward in your credit journey. Now, I want to close by sharing this key important data with you. If you were to go online to your credit card, whatever credit card you have, and say you want to set it on auto pay, and say that you want to work your auto pay, listen to what is going to happen. Your credit card company has already got it built into the data that you can do auto pay on the due date. Auto pay on the due date for minimum payments. This is something that they will absolutely permit, and they will sell it to you this way. They will tell you that if you schedule auto payments for your due date, minimum payment amounts, we'll see to it that you are never late. Now that is true. You'll never be late, but because the due date is an interest charging date, you are literally, in some cases, for some people, you will be forever trying to get out of the debt because you will incur so much interest because you making minimum payments on the due date. My recommendation to you is to go into your bank online and set up auto payments there to go to your credit card. If you're only going to pay minimums, just do not pay them on the due date. Now, there are a lot of people who, based on the inflation and the high costs that we're dealing with right now, you are having difficulties. You've used your credit cards, you've been overextended, and you're trying to work your way out. I'm going to be doing another video soon about this, but I want to share this much with you right now. Pay the minimum payments. Make sure you pay them at least the day before the due date. Make sure they hit in the grace period so that they can cut some of this interest back. The sooner you can pay it after the statement date, the better off you are. Do not wait for the due date if you're not paying the balance in full. Listen to me again. Do not wait till the due date if you're not paying the balance in full. Well, I am so glad. I want you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, share this video with someone, leave me a question or a comment, something you'd like to hear us talk about here on the channel in the area of finance. I'm so glad to do it. And please check the description for this video. There are great resources there. Even in this particular area, there is a resource called Winning the Credit Card Game that I go through and thoroughly explain to you how to win this credit card game. Well, you be blessed and have an absolutely awesome rest of your day.